All right, here's a lesson 2.1. We're going to go through the first part quick because we did it in class. So we're going to have a quadratic function, ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers with a not equal to 0. Because if a equals 0, the first part would disappear and we got a linear. So we can't have that. Ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, your vertex, which is your minimum or max, is going to be the ordered pair, negative b divided by 2a, comma f of negative b divided by 2a. Your axis of symmetry, which I have over on the side, your axis of symmetry, A of S, is going to be a vertical line that goes through the vertex. It's x equals negative b over 2a, where my a and b are the numbers in front of x squared and x. X equals negative b over 2a. So once I get this x value of this vertex, there's my x value, I'm going to use it in the function to find the y value. All right, down at the bottom we have our translations. Remember, plus or minus the number on the inside is the opposite left to right. Plus or minus the number outside our function is up or down. A negative outside our function is a reflection over x. A number in front of our function, like 2 absolute value, is a stretch by 2. We're going to take our ordered pair, 2, 7, multiply our y value by 2 and get 2, 14. All right, so describing the translations. All right, our parent function is going to be x squared. The negative on the outside is a reflection over x. The plus 4 in the back makes it up 4. On number 2, with the negative on the inside, the big difference here, that's a reflection over y. I have my parent function of x squared. Opposite of the inside is left 4. Negative on the x is a reflection over y. And a minus 4 in the back makes it go down. And for number 3, instead of a stretch, which it is kind of a stretch, we're going to call it a shrink, because if I multiply my y values by a half, I'm going to get a graph that's a little bit flatter. So if you have a number between 0 and 1, it's going to make your numbers get smaller. All right. Standard form, vertex form, HK form. F of x equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. If it's written in this form, our vertex, which we talked about, the opposite of h, comma k. The opposite of the number on the inside, comma the number on the outside. Once I get the vertex, that x value of your vertex is your h. That's going to be your axis of symmetry. X equals h. So we're doing it the opposite direction. And then we're going to look at the a in the front. If it's positive, it's going to go up. If it's negative, it's going to go down. Because if it was negative, it would be a reflection over the x-axis. All right, going through this quick. X squared minus 8x plus 20. I want a vertex, axis of symmetry in the direction. All right, I'm going to do negative b over 2a to get my axis of symmetry. A negative negative 8 over 2 times 1 is 4. So my axis of symmetry is x equals 4. That's automatically going to go into my vertex. And then to get the second part of my vertex, I'm going to take that 4 and substitute it into the function and get the y value. Give me the vertex of 4, 4. Because my a value is positive, it opens up. All right, so to write that in the correct form, I plug in my a, which we said was 1. My h is 4, my k is 4. Clean it up, and I get this. All right, going quick. Slow down and pause it if you need to. Another way to do this. And I'll erase this just so we can do it better and do it together. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the square. I'm going to write x squared minus 8x. I'm going to leave a space and put plus 20. And I'm going to separate these from the 20. I'm going to complete the square. To complete the square, I'm going to take half of my middle term, x minus 4, square it, you get plus 16, and I also have to put a 16 on the other side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Now to bring it back, I'm going to subtract the 16, we get a positive 4. And there's the same equation we got on the other page. And then from there, you take out your information, the opposite of this. Vertex is 4, 4. That means my axis of symmetry is x equals 4. And because it's positive, it opens up. All right, we're going to do this one by completing the square also. This one's going to be a little bit different because I have a leading coefficient. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take out that leading coefficient out of both of my x terms and leave that 5 in the back, outside of my bracket. All right, next, I'm going to take half my middle, half of 5. A lot of people want to say 2.5, but we're going to do it as a fraction. X plus 5 over 2. Half of 5 is 5 over 2. I square it. I get 25 over 4. This is the part people will make mistakes on. I write a 25 over 4 in that spot, but that's not what I'm going to put on both sides. Because this 2 is being multiplied by everything on the inside. So if I multiply 25 over 4 by 2, I get 25 over 2. Because there's a coefficient, I have to multiply those two together, and that's what I put on the other side. I subtract the 25 over 2. Get common denominators. My pen's starting to jump around, but hopefully it's good enough. And I get minus 15 over 2. So that is my formula. My vertex is going to be the opposite. Common the number on the outside. My x to the symmetry is going to be x equals that x value. And because my a value is positive, it opens up. This step here is going to get more people than anything. Let's do one more. F of x equals a negative x squared plus 4x minus 10. I'm going to factor out that negative sign. I'm going to put negative my parentheses squared, half my middle squared is plus 4. But that 4, if I were to distribute, is really a negative 4. So to bring it back, I get a minus 6. So half my middle squared, and then I need to distribute that number and get a minus 4 and bring it back. So now my vertex is 2, negative 6. My x and symmetry is the x value of that, which is 2. And it's going to open down. Completing the square is a useful method that we will use many different times in different ways. All right, now we're going to find the equation of the parabola given by the parabola that has a vertex of 3, 4, and a point 1, 2. All right, so this is the form I'm going to put it in. Automatically, here's my HK, so I'm going to have y equals something, x minus 3 quantity squared plus 4. So what I have to figure out is that a value. All right, but we're given an h and a k and an x and a y. So I'm going to substitute into x, y, h, and k and solve for a. So my y value is 2 equals a parentheses, my x value is 1 minus my h value, quantity squared, plus my k. So I substitute into x, y, h, and k and start doing my math. I get a equal negative 1/2, so all I'm going to do is bring that over here, substitute it in, and I'm done. So you're given the h and k, plug that in automatically. Then use that hk, the x and the y that you're given, and find the a value. All right, doing this again. My answer is going to be y equals something, parentheses, x minus 5, 20 squared plus 12. So I'm going to substitute into hk, xy. 15 equals a, parentheses, 7 minus 5, 20 squared plus 12. Doing some quick math. I get 3/4. So you're given x, y, hk, plug them in, find a, then use the hk that you're given and write it as a formula. All right, last one. It's straight out of the book, page 121, number 75. Path of the diver is given by the function, as shown, where f of x is the height in feet, and x is the horizontal distance from the end of the diving board in feet. What is the maximum height for the diver? All right, so what we have. We got a person on a diving board. When he jumps, this is the path he's going to follow. Right? Where your x value is how far you're away from the board, and your y value is how high you are. Your f of x is your height. Your x is how far you are. So what they want you to find is the maximum height. They want the y value of that vertex. All right, we're going to complete the square just to practice it. All right, that's not going to be as bad as it looks, if you could read it. All right, I'm going to take out a negative 4/9. X squared minus 6 is left over when I take out a negative 4/9. So I'm going to put a minus 3 plus 9. When I distribute, a negative 4/9 times 9, it's just going to be a negative 4. So I bring it back by adding 4, and I get plus 16. So that means the vertex of this parabola, of the arc that he's graphing, is 316. They want to know the maximum height, which is our y value, and we would say 16 feet. So at that maximum height, he's going to be 3 feet away from the board and 16 feet high. So fractions. Looks ugly, but when you take out that fraction, it cleans up pretty nicely. All right, so page 120 in the book, but you're not going to do it in the book. You're going to do it in the WebAssign program. So do the learning about WebAssign, whatever that one assignment is to teach you how to do everything. And then by Wednesday, have this assignment done. All right. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to everybody in the future.